All right, y'all. It's time to turn your notifications back on. It's ULG De La Ray.
ULG Kayla K.
And ULGJ. And welcome back to the group chat.
Welcome back. Welcome back. Let's go ahead and get into what's been going on these last couple of weeks. Because, y'all, I'm tired. First of all, Mama made some oxtails. Yeah.
Come on.
She made oxtail, coconut rice, beans, broiled cheese, candy yams. I
Ooh.
tore that shit up. Do you hear me? Tore it up.
Come on, Mom.
Needed it in my life. I needed it. I left work early to go pick that up.
Genuinely so jealous. Like, this is the envy they talk about in the Bible. Like, should have been me.
Mind you, this is right when I seen that link you sent us about an oxtail festival. I said, won't he do it?
You know what? And I'm just waiting on my miracle because, like, there's a place in New York called Cuts and Slices, and they're, like, viral for, like, their oxtail pizza. And I told my aunts, we are getting this slice of pizza. Well, I am. I don't know what y'all gonna do. You know what I mean?
Other than my oxtail plate, shout out to my mama. This past weekend, my really good friend Lindsay, she and her husband like remodeled their house that they bought together and turned it into like a studio. So they have like a studio with like paper backdrops in the garage that's remodeled. She had a grand opening and she had sponsored models and photographers come and shoot in each area. That way, when other people actually came to the event, they could like create content, jump in with people, get photos and stuff like that. I literally left work in the middle of my shift, went and modeled there, and then came back and finished my shift at home. So I'm just proud of her. She did such a good job. So if you're listening and you're in Phoenix and you need a studio or a place to get content, Paradise Studios. Other than that, y'all, I don't know if I've talked about this on the pod, but I've been having to get in my apartment complex's ass. For one, have my AC vent has been leaking water for like 17 months. I've had pigeons living in my ceiling for a whole year. And I don't know if my apartment complex just thinks I'm a big dummy or what the fuck is going on. But I literally have to go to court with these people to get them to do what they are supposed to be doing, what they get paid to do. So, but other than that, I have been having a little bit of like social media anxiety. I don't know where it's coming from, but it's like the more I think about posting, the more I don't want to post. Like, I don't know if it's just so much going on that it's like too much to post. I don't know what it is, but it's like I'm glad to see. I see a lot of people that I know being more open and like free about stuff that they post and being more like comfortable with themselves. So I love seeing that. I think I just get too into my head about stuff. Like I'm too like a perfectionist when it comes to posting because I'm like everything got to be right, but it really don't have to. So I have to get out of that. But we gonna work on it. What about you, me?
Shout out to Miss Raquel Carter. She is running for mayor here in Lexington. She won the primary, so all roads shall lead to November. Really hoping she accomplishes that. I didn't get to help out as much as I wanted to, but the watch night party was like really nice the other night, and it was just fun, you know, to see a fresh face in politics, somebody who is well qualified, someone that like people in the community know. That's been really nice. Also, shout out to Charles Booker because, you know, would love to see him in the U.S. Senate. We'll see how Kentucky acts, though, because they like to give you hope. And then, you know, personal stuff, not much crazy. I'm just getting ready for a trip here soon. I'll probably talk about it next week when I get back. um, Yeah, nothing too crazy on my end. I'm tired like always, but you know, that doesn't stop anything. It is what it is.
So I got an update on my hormones. Did you all know that the synthetic estrogen that they put in birth control is from horse urine? Yeah. And we wonder why we have issues. So I found out that I'm estrogen dominant, and because of my fibroids, that's why I have breakthrough bleeding during my cycle. And without the birth control balancing the estrogen, it's out of whack. And now also mixed with horse urine. So crazy. Also, for the first time in 5 years, I went running. And it felt really, really good. So I think I might give that a shot again more regularly. We'll see.
Well, I have a question. If you're estrogen dominant, is taking birth control Is that more estrogen?
I'm estrogen dominant now that I'm off of the birth control.
Oh,
Yeah. So,
yeah.
perks of being a female. But you know what? The supplements that I'm on, I feel like are making a really big difference. So, fingers crossed when I take my next hormone test, it's better. Yeah. And then the last point, I just had a high thought over the past couple weeks. And, people just don't take relationships seriously anymore. And I know we know that, but I don't think we've said it in those terms. I think people really be out. I don't know what people think dating is. I feel like people are a little too lax about it. And it's almost like we as millennials are stuck in like the worst position because Gen X, the generation before us, and boomers, it was like they ran such a strict program in terms of like toxic masculinity to where now the pendulum has swung in the complete opposite direction. And now we're on the other end of that extreme, which is where men think that they're the prize. And so it's like, is the pendulum ever going to swing enough times before we die to where we get to experience the balance of both of those extremes? Like I said, high thought.
Some would say it's because we're not looking outside of our race, but I refuse to accept that.
People say that.
A lot of people say that, people from other races, they see relationship differently and how they treat their women and what they expect from their women is a lot different than us as Black people. But I totally agree with what you're saying. We are swinging on the opposite side right now. But I think this is a perfect segue into Lover's Lane of being intentional. People our age, you would think they would start being intentional about relationships and where their life's going. But I think they're so stuck on like, I'm still young. I still got my whole life ahead of me. And it's like, yeah, we are still young, but this is the time for us to like, build a foundation. I shouldn't be 35 still talking about picking up hoes. But if that's what you want to do, that's what you want to do. But who's going to take you serious?
And I don't know if they're looking for someone to take them serious.
A lot of people are intentionally single.
I am, because I'm just like, I'm choosing to opt out for the time being, for the foreseeable future. I genuinely don't see myself getting into a relationship within like at least the next year because I'm like, I just don't have time for
Yeah.
what it takes out of you and what you put in, especially for somebody else that's like the wrong person. Like, I don't have time for that. I would just rather continue to live my life and feel fulfilled in my own self and like
Hmm.
find ways to like enjoy things that I like. Because I mean, like the wrong men will completely slow you down and like, have you just in recovery mode. And like I feel like men who choose not to date is because like you said, it's like an emotional maturity thing. Like and they still have so much access to like so many women, so they don't feel like they have to. They don't necessarily maybe they do, but they just don't wanna. Like they know the benefit of having like a good solid woman, but they just like, oh no, I'd rather do this. That's fine. So like they opt out for that reason, but for my reason is just like also emotional maturity, but the other side of it, like I know I'm too mature for like any more games and like the lying and the back and forth. Please keep it.
Constitute dating is like you are my boyfriend, I'm your girlfriend. Whereas, and some people say dating is like, oh, I'm dating, like literally, like
Hmm.
dating multiple people at once, and you're not boyfriend, girlfriend till you're quote unquote exclusive. What do you all think about that? Is that how you define dating? Like actually dating people?
Well, when I say dating, I mean like dating people, plural. I feel like if I'm in a relationship, then I would say I'm in a relationship.
Mm,
I'm dating. I feel like dating is you're still getting to know someone. Because I had someone basically, we were talking or whatever, but he wanted to be exclusive, but he didn't want to be in a relationship. And I was like, well, what's the difference?
After you said what's the difference, he didn't. What did he say?
He didn't have an answer. He was like, oh, well, I guess you got a point. I was like, yeah, so rethink that.
have a point. That is the point. Like it's
See, that might have been the perfect time to ask you to be his girlfriend. Like it don't.
Girl, he only knew me for a couple days.
Oh, and he wanted to be
He
exclusive.
already Yeah, he already knew that wouldn't happen. That's why I was like, "Well, what's that mean?" He was like, "Oh, yeah, I guess that means sure. Get right, please."
try that with another one, not over here, but
I did have to do like a self audit this month. I cleared my roster because I was like, when I was dating these people, it wasn't a lot, like, I'm saying people. But, like, when I was dating these individuals, it was like, I was dating, I was getting to know people, meeting people. It wasn't nothing like trying to be serious with anybody. But now I'm at the point where I feel like I'm not looking for a relationship, but if I am going to date anybody, with intentions of building a relationship. So I don't want to go on dates with someone if they're just out trying to have fun and mess around with people. Like I want to date someone who actually wants to take the time to get to know me. I just realized all the niggas that I was talking to, that they just weren't at that spot. And that's okay because they met me where I was at the time. But I'm not about to assume just because I want something serious that they should want something serious. I know they're not at that point. So I'm not even about to set myself up for the okey doke. I just need to go and find people who are moving intentionally.
And that all goes back to communication, like we talked about last time. And like, yeah, the onus is on other people to be honest about what it is that they're really looking for. But then we also have to do our due diligence by making sure that their actions align with their words. And the first time they don't, maybe call it out. But the second time, take that as all the sign that
Love,
you need. Right.
literally.
Yeah.
I've been deep into his name is Anwar, Anwar White content. He's a dating coach. He is a gay black man. He's married. He has kids. But his dating advice is so on point. It's literally everything my therapist has been telling me. In a lot of his interviews, he talks about this like kind of like boundaries slash timeline that he gives to his clients. So he basically says like if a guy matches with you on an app or like starts talking to you on social media, if he doesn't get your phone number on a date within a week, you probably just need to go ahead and drop. If you are dating someone for 2 to 3 months and they don't make it exclusive, you probably need to drop them. He said if you're not engaged or married by 2 years of being in a committed relationship, then you probably should let it go because it's probably not going to happen.
Do you feel like there's ever a time in which like it's too much too soon though in terms of
What you
communication,
mean?
like how frequently someone's communicating with you? Like this one guy who asked me out on a date, asked me for my number one night, and then over the next 2 weeks before we went out on the date, I mean, he was calling and texting me every day. And it wasn't like to have like a big long conversation, but just like, hey, good morning, thought about you, or like, hey, I'm driving to Houston, wanted to talk to you on my drive. And I was like, okay, sir, we just met.
But are these conversations, are you learning new things about him? Is he learning new things about you?
Well, I didn't take any of the conversations prior to the date because I
Uh,
just felt like, well, what are we going to talk about on the date if we talk all this time in between?
since I've been on the other end of a nigga not speaking at all, I think that's kind of nice. He's showing you that he's putting in effort, and even if you're not talking to other people romantically, you have friends, people that you check in with. So if you're trying to get to know me or want to be with me,
Yeah, to me, him calling you, that sounds normal and intentional. I wouldn't want to show up on a date with somebody and like that's our first conversation because like what if I want to leave? Or like, I mean, most people don't run out of things. If the chemistry and the connection is there, you probably won't run out of things to talk about. So, like we've been in a group chat for 10 years and we ain't ran out of shit to talk about. So more than 10 years. So like, I think that would be a good time to be like, okay, so you went to such and such. How was your trip? Like, did you eat anywhere that was really great? What do you like to eat? Like, it's just like a segue to like kind of disarm each other so that like you're not like walking on eggshells. Like to me, that feels like more I don't want to say classical dating, but it does because like we're so used to just like so many quick conversations and rules and stuff like that, but just somebody calling up, checking on you on the phone, that to me sounds like courting, like actually trying to
Mhm.
get to know you. And like she said, make sure you're not a catfish. Yeah, sure, but like if you already met them in person, like that probably to me is like a telltale sign of like how he would be as a partner, calling in, checking on you. Yeah, you're on a drive. That's when you're making time for me versus, other people just being like, oh yeah, well, I got to go here this weekend. So, cause I mean, I have a friend and we talk about it a lot. I had to like yank her off him because I'm just like, he's not giving anything. Like he was in the car for how long? 6 hours and he didn't by himself and he didn't call you at all. but you think
Mhm.
he doesn't like you. It's okay. Or maybe he does like you, but he doesn't feel like he's ready, or he's not, there was no intention behind his actions toward her. Like, how can you sit in the car for 6 hours and not call somebody?
Mhm.
Please. Mm-mm. So yeah, that to me just sounds intentional, or that's like an example of like how people can be intentional with dating.
Yeah, and maybe it was too soon, and maybe that's why I was like, "Okay, it's coming off a little."
Too soon after the last situation.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's very real. Like,
yeah,
just being self-aware and
because it
knowing
is
what you can
here.
handle. Mhm.
Yeah, hearing you guys talk about it, I'm like, "Oh, yeah, that is nice. That is
Mhm.
sweet. You should do
Mhm.
that."
He was probably, so happy you got your damn number. He was like, "Ooh, I gotta let her know
Mhm.
I likes her for
Yeah.
sure."
But when you're jaded because of another person, we all been there. It's like you don't see things the way that you probably should for a period of time, and that's okay. Like I said, it's just important to be patient with yourself and then jump back in when you're ready, because that'll help with the intention too on your end. Like, I'm being intentional about being ready the next time. That's why
Totally.
I'm like, niggas can fuck off. So
Yeah. I think I'm terrified to date right now. Like, I just everything you see online and read online and not even just online, in people's real lives, the things you hear about, and it's like, that's what's happening out there? Like, you hear stories when you're in a relationship, but then when you're not in a relationship and realize, like, "Oh, that could be me," it's like, "You know what? Pass."
it's such a slippery slope, like, because I feel like stuff that I've gone through in past relationships, I'm like, Kayla, not in love, would not put up with that. But then once you, like I said, it's a slippery slope, and once you slide in that thing, it's just like, okay, well, I love you, and I want to make it work, and I know you're dealing with this, and I'm trying to be helpful, and then you just end up in a shitstorm. So I'm just like, mm-mm.
It's like what they called Oxford, the velvet ditch.
Now, what is that? Come on, slide. Come on, professor, teach us.
They called
My
that,
guess is you slide into a ditch real easy.
and then you get stuck because it's so comfortable. You ain't
Come
got no grip.
on.
The velvet ditch. Yeah, that's what that sounds like.
Mhm.
That's a word from the. Let me just add that to my notes from Sunday sermon. 'Cause that's good. I like that.
But literally, my last relationship, I understood the meaning of what's love got to do with it. Like, yeah, I can love somebody, but what the fuck is that doing for me?
I'm sorry, that weakened me.
'Cause bitch, you ride or die, you gonna die every time. 'Cause
Mm.
baby, one thing, uh, love can never, outshine is time. I can get not a lick, a second, a minute, an hour, a day of none of that shit back, all because I love somebody. Alright.
When you were talking about the guy, I'm gonna call him Anwar because that's my cousin's baby daddy's
Mhm,
name, and I've known him like my whole life. So like, I like Anwar. But like, those were even like personal rules that I had for myself, because like I had heard other people say that like a man, when he knows, he knows. So like
mhm,
by 2 years, that's usually when I'm done, because I'm just like, all right, I can't take much more than this, especially if we haven't made like any significant improvements, or we've improved but it's not consistent. Like, that's usually the mark for me. And I'll tell y'all who it is. I'll try to make it vague enough, but like, I know someone who recently got engaged, and it's been 5 years for them, and the person proposed at someone else's event. And to me, it very much gave like, either do this or I'm out. And I'm like,
mhm.
the person who got proposed to obviously is a girl. It's like, you can try to make it seem like it's God sent all you want, but I know that person. I mean, if you like it, I love it. I will never yuck your yum. But like, I'm just like, wow, the things that women really do go through, that velvet ditch, to appear like something is one way, but it's not. It's
Mhm.
interesting, and I'm just like, I don't want that, cause like, 5 years, you should have been okay, you know what I mean?
And in my last relationship, it wasn't even for other people. It was like I had this mindset of like I'm the one that has to keep these relationships together. Like if the relationship ends, it's my fault because I didn't find some way to fix whatever problem that was going on.
But, I feel like you saying that, like, it felt like in your last relationship, it took you holding it together. I feel like that's a prime example of going into a relationship with a man who has, like, no vision for you all. And so, in turn, he's not been intentional about any part of y'all's relationship. Because
Or they
if you were like, if you knew where you all were headed, you wouldn't have that feeling.
it's different when someone changes what they say. when they start off saying one thing and that's what you believe. And then you get to that point and now it's something else. And then it's something else till you get fed the fuck up. It's like, all right, you're only gonna change the goalposts so many times before I'm like, I'm out of the game. Just
Listen,
you win.
take me out, coach. Normally we say put me in, take me out. Matter of fact, Imma just switch teams. I'm getting drafted elsewhere, bitch.
I saw this video the other day on Instagram, and it was this white girl and her a text chain between a white girl and her sister, and
Oh
she was
yeah.
essentially asking her sister, like how to keep and make a black boyfriend, like a fucking Lily Lynch letter. You have him start dating you. You have to like enmesh yourself in every part of his life, and that means if he wants you to do his homework, do his homework. If he wants you to cook his meals, cook his meals. Do his laundry, clean his room. Make yourself so indispensable that he literally can't operate without you being present. Don't give him a hard time. If he asks you to do something, do it and ask, how he wants it done. And I was like, is this the goal?
Mind you, she was an NFL fiance, and in that text, she literally said to provoke black women to get them to have their Shanae come out and then show him so he can be like, see, that's not what I want.
Said it out loud because I mean, like, normally black women have been gaslit for years because we know that they play these kind of games. But I mean, at least she actually said the quiet part out loud because we know that they do that. And black men who are already self-hating and hating of black women are first in line to be like, yep, exactly. Shut up.
So they're being intentional. Shit, we need a motherfucking playbook.
Bruh.
But see, that's the thing though. As black women, we are not as desirable as other women for whatever reason, Like me and my sister were having this conversation about Perfect Match. I don't know if y'all watched that, but it's like all the black men on that show are so attracted to like the racially ambiguous looking women. The ones that look like some mix of Eakins. The black girls just as gorgeous and get zero play. Yeah, white girls can be intentional. Niggas can be intentional. But it's really hard as a black woman to be intentional because us being intentional, shit, it's looking like that means you might very well be alone.
Yeah. And the Anwar guy was talking because when he says stuff, he usually comes with like a statistic to go with whatever he's saying. So he was saying that he usually encourages people to date outside of their race, not like only date outside the race, but include them in the consideration because it just broadens your net of potential people.
I mean, I'm not opposed to dating out of my race. I never have been. I just don't know how. Truly. Once I figure it out, hey.
I'm just really not that attracted to them. I feel like you gotta have some sort of melanin. So I always thought, maybe I could date like a Middle Eastern man or like, like a African Eritrean or something like that. But
Yeah,
yeah, them
it's fun. Mm.
them pale people, I just can't get past. I just can't. Attraction wise.
I was literally hanging out with these two girls one day, and they both identify as queer.
Okay.
And one of them was black, one of them was white. And the black girl was saying the same thing. She was like, yeah, she was like, I can't date white girls. And she was like, and also, have you ever seen a white girl's titties? Like, they're so ugly. And her friend was like, wait, you think my titties are ugly?
Fucking crying.
Like, oh.
I also feel like I need a sign that says I'm straight.
Justice for all titties. And we are straight. Why do you feel like you need that sign?
I don't know. I just feel like lately I've been getting low key hit on by women, or like a lot of events that I get invited to, where it's like queer dominated events. And it's like I don't want to. Not that I don't want to go because it's a queer event, but it's like I don't want people to assume I'm queer because I'm at the queer event, even though there's nothing wrong with that. I'm an ally, but like that doesn't help with people approaching me because I'm getting the wrong team coming.
My the massage therapist that I'm not going back to because she talked too much. She invited me to an event where it was like the census event. So it's like she was doing the part where like with like touch. So like you'll be blindfolded, and then like she was giving out like massages, and then it was like there's like a private chef, and like they're doing like the taste, but you do all of it blindfolded, and it was like a queer event. I was like, ma'am, respectfully, like thank you so much, but I was like, this sounds like something waiting to happen. Just a whole big ass room of people. No, thank you. It sounds nice though. I was like, I support. I hope y'all have a blast, but I won't be there.
It's too
I love being like, "Oh, dang, Imma be out of town," because like, she always invites me to "Aw, dang, damn."
Dead. Or, like, when I'm third wheeling, it's like, bruh, how can I show that this married couple is separate from me?
"You don't wanna be their third?" No, I'm kidding.
My therapist wants me to go to, like, some events to try to meet people in person instead of doing the apps, but it's like, "Girl, how? Where? When?"
Yeah,
I
and I'm not a fan of, like, the way a lot of women as a collective act in front of single men.
Oh my
That would
gosh.
Mhm.
never find me in the mix of that shit, respectfully.
Yeah.
Like, the competition is like, it's so tense. I'm like, "I will never be a part of this, and if this means me missing out on my husband, well, because I'm not finna sit here and like fake giggle and flip my hair all over people and shit. Like, I'm not gonna keep doing all of that. Like, or not keep doing
Mm-mm.
that. I'm not gonna do it, period. Like
Yeah.
a man can't even like hold the door for you, like, oh, thank you, appreciate it, without another woman being like, hey, come over here. Like, that shit gets under my skin. I have never wanted to be a part of that. I can't.
Literally. I went to a Spurs game recently-ish, and there was this guy there, great looking guy, black guy, and it was me and 3 other women. Only one of the other women had a partner. This guy, he was talking to all of us, but I felt like he kept talking to me and the girl I was there with because we're black and he's also black. So it's just like we're gravitating towards each other because we're black. Nothing more about it. But the one chick who was with us that didn't have a partner, every time he would try to engage in conversation with us, it would be like, "Oh, and so what did you say about this?
Ugh.
Or what did you say about that? Well, hey, what do you think about?" And I was like, "Oh, girl, sit, listen, y'all have a conversation. It's not that deep."
Oh.
Mm-mm.
And I'm trying to get out of the habit of approaching niggas because that's the type of person I am. I ain't got time to wait for a nigga to come to me. If I like what I like, I'm gonna walk up to you and say something. And then I was like, you know what? I gotta cut that out because Anwar said we shouldn't be approaching people. And it's like, Jay, you said that you had went out and got a lot of numbers, and I just be like, I don't be getting numbers because I don't like. How do I put this? I don't know. It's like I want to say I don't like talking to people, but I do like talking to people. It's just weird. I feel like I don't give off a approachable look when I go out. I probably give off steak, breath, and bitch face.
Sometimes I'd be afraid to approach you
Oh,
tonight, and I was like, "Ooh, is she in the mood?"
oh no, no,
I
no,
was
no,
like,
no.
"No, she's
It
good."
just literally be my face.
See, this is why we should have did a case study on each other when we were in Arizona out so that we
Ooh.
can see how we act.
Yes.
We gonna
Mhm.
have to run a trip back so that we can like see how we
Yeah.
are. Like,
Yeah. The thing is, when I get numbers, I'm like, I know good and well this isn't going anywhere. As soon as we leave
Oh,
the vicinity, I'm blocking you. But I
okay.
feel bad being like, "No, I'm good, thanks." I know I need to work on that.
Oh, girl, I say no. I'm good. Thanks to everybody. You didn't even get too much out of me.
listen,
You
I'd
a
be
little
like, no, thank
crazy.
you. I'd be polite about it and then they get mad. Like that happened to me before. Somebody was like, have you? I was like, no, thank you. He said, no, thank you. I said, did you want me to say, nigga, get the fuck out my face? What are you? I said it nicely.
Of course you did.
Dang.
And then it's like, I don't like taking drinks from people if I'm not interested because I feel like you feel like I'm obligated to talk to you, get your number and stuff because you bought me a drink. And I just feel like maybe shouldn't feel like
I got out of that a long time ago. I'll help. Don't worry about it.
that.
I'll help you.
I feel like that I've seen that before, like, as women, especially if you wanna be, like, more in touch with your feminine side, you have to be accepting of when people are trying to do things for you, when men especially are trying to be in their masculine energy and buy things or be chivalrous or whatever the case may be. It's hard it was hard for me too, but I'm definitely getting better.
It is
Yeah.
hard. Like, I don't think I would have fully mastered it if I didn't date the Jamaican guy because, like, he kept wanting to come see me when he got off work, like, when we first met. But it would be super late. And I'm like, you live an hour away. And I'm like, no, like, if something happens to you on the road, da da da. And, like, after turning him down, like, a couple of times, he was like, Kayla, if a man says he's going to come see you, let him figure it out. And then, like,
Yeah.
when I first did a career change where I left my old job, there was something that happened where, like, I was supposed to get like my last paycheck and my vacation payout and my first paycheck from my new job because like there was like overlap. So I was supposed to get 3 checks and something happened to where like I didn't get any of them. So I was like really irritated and I told him about it and I was like, I'm not upset. Like I have food. I'm good. I don't need to go anywhere. I'm remote, blah, blah, blah. But even, and he was like, well, do you want to come to Nashville to see me? And I was like, sure. So I went and hung out with him and he was like, oh, I got to make a stop first. And then at the time he knew I really loved Trader Joe's because we went a few times, and he was like, "Okay, well, you say you didn't get paid, so just go in here and get whatever you want." And I was like,
Aw.
"Really?" And, like, I kept apologizing, and I was like, "I don't need much. I don't need much. I'm not gonna get that much. I'm not gonna spend." He was like, he looked at me, he said, "Kayla." Like, he gave me, like, a grown man daddy voice. He was like, "I didn't ask you what you needed. I didn't tell you how much you could spend. Like, I told you that you told me that you didn't get paid. We're dating. I'm gonna take care of it." So, like, me being in those
Period.
situations with him made me realize, like, okay, you could be taken away from somebody else's masculinity by, like, not doing or not allowing him to do certain things. And we know it don't take much for these niggas to feel emasculated. So, like, even in those,
Mhm.
like, small moments when you can just be like, okay, you know what? You're right. I appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Anwar has, like, a video of him talking about, like, being feminine and, like, being in your feminine energy, and the whole time he was talking, I was like, "This sound like Kay." 'Cause he was just talking about, like, how most Black women do operate in their masculine energy, but it's because they feel like they have to, and, like, you really have to start operating in your feminine if you wanna find a husband
Mhm.
husband.
Right, and just recognize those moments when you can put it into practice, like
Mhm.
somebody buying you a drink. "Thank you so much." Just accept it and say thank you.
Preach,
Of
preach
course.
up.
That's how it is, like, that's just their nature. They need to feel needed and wanted.
That's something he also says as
Mhm.
well.
Also saw this video of how, like, when you go to shake a man's hand or, like, when a man is coming to shake your hand, it should never be like that firm on firm. You know how they say a good firm handshake is like an honest person or whatever bullshit? He said, "Ladies, you need to start putting your hand like this and, like, giving them the chance to
Oh,
potentially,
thank
like,
you.
kiss you on the top of your hand. Like, that's how you should be placing your hand in their hand. If
Mhm.
you go to naturally put it like that and he doesn't understand what you're doing, I'd say it's a red flag, but
Save the firm ones for, like, networking and any conferences, and I'm saying this because, like, everybody that I know who's in a relationship that I really admire, it was a no-brainer for all of them. It wasn't any back and forth. It wasn't 5 years of this and "Oh, well, we might as well that." It wasn't any of that. They were whole people individually. They came together and then they didn't miss a beat. That's what I want for myself. A lot of women, and, like, I say this, like, with love, but, like, are kicking and screaming and forcing and trying to change, like, the way a lot of men are. They are not doing the same
Mhm.
work that we are, like,
No.
internally. Like, they just know what makes sense in their heads and what doesn't. Or they know what works for them and what doesn't, and then they gravitate towards what works.
and then we reinforce it by not holding them accountable.
Mhm,
So it's
Yeah.
like, right, if they always get the same outcome from doing the same shit, even though it's harmful or negative, they're gonna keep doing it because
mhm.
it's proven to work.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's
So
it, and that's all.
He was saying that when you go out, you should try to get 2 numbers and a drink. That way you can practice, like, talking to people. He calls it flexing your flirting skills. He was like, "'Cause, like, the more dates you go on and the more people you talk to, you'll get better at, like, what to say, how to say it, and things like that." It's just hard for me to go on a date with someone I know I'm not interested in. Like, to use them as, like, practice, because I can't hide stuff on my face. Because when my face is just stale, if it's not stale, it's making a face like, "Bitch, what the fuck's going on?" And I can't control. That's
Maybe
why
just
we
do
try
it.
not to do that.
Maybe just do it one step at a time. Like, maybe I mean, I know you go out, like, with like, by yourself and stuff, but, like, maybe just, like, until you are, like, fully comfortable with that, then add, like, the next step. You know what I mean? Because
Mhm.
that's, like, what I've been doing. Like, I've made it, like, a goal for this month to, like, be out of the house more than I'm in the house because, like, my social anxiety has gotten really, really, really bad to the point where, like, when
Mhm.
I go somewhere, even when I know the people, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm comfortable, like, in the I'm looking forward to it. Once I get there, I feels, like, so uncomfortable to the point where, like, I'm not naturally, like, myself. So, like, that's been my goal of just, like, just be out the house more. Because unfortunately, it does work because it puts you outside. You are forced to talk to
Mhm.
people and things like that. But then when I do eventually go hunting or, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm more comfortable in who I am, and
Yeah.
being comfortable, like, taking up space and existing in the way that I want to so that, like, that person doesn't miss me or I don't miss them. So I think that's really great advice, but you can always just take it one step at a time too. Cause I mean,
Yeah.
you can meet people there and use them as practice. Like, you don't have to be on a date.
My therapist calls that making a guest appearance because I would talk about, like, not wanting to go places. So she said, "You can go, stay for 20 minutes, make a couple rounds, make sure you see everything, and then leave. You don't have to stay there a long time, but at least you go, you show your face, and you got out."
We are
It's
the
like they
main
sensitize you.
characters. Mhm.
You said main characters?
We are the main characters of our lives. Yeah. So we make a guest appearance, we can stay for the opening act if we want to. Shit, if not, bounce the fuck out. We cast whoever we want to cast, fire the whole
Mhm.
cast,
Okay.
bring on a new cast. Shit.
Honey.
Gangsta
Again, you are
setting.
the protagonist, the main character.
Oh my gosh. That's so funny.
Yep.
But I love that you guys are, taking the time to like get yourselves together before you like just hop back on the train. I just feel like I'm just that type of person. I feel like I do better when I have a partner. Like I just feel like I be in better spirits. So it's like I'm trying not to force anything. And I think I'm trying to get away from that to being intentional. So that's what I've been focusing on now. Look at what they're at right now.
Mhm.
What makes you feel like you do better with a partner?
I do like my me time, but I feel like I've been by myself for so long, it's like, all right. Like, even being in that long distance relationship, it was like I was in a relationship, I was still by myself for the most part.
Mm.
So I just feel like having someone to bounce off of and support each other, it just being around them, it sounds bad because you should want to be a better person for yourself. But I feel like when you're with a partner, it's more motivation to like keep your shit together because it's not just you anymore.
Yeah. I feel I'm the same way. Like I feel like I'm better with a partner because to me no other scenario has like held a mirror up to me than being in a relationship to where like I see what I need to work on at a rapid pace because it's like it's actually affecting somebody. With like we both have things we need to work on, but just holding a mirror up to yourself. But like I'm at a point now where I'm just like, okay, I don't want the mirror to be so bad. So I'm willing to like
Mhm.
wait it out and like do some more work so that like the next time it's right. And like even my best friend, well, one of my best friends, she's here. We went out to dinner the other day and I was telling her about like how I went to like a concert by myself for my birthday. And she was like, Haley, you're so brave. And like that's what people kept telling me. You're so brave, you're so brave. And I'm like, yeah, but, like and she was like, "You know what?" She was like, "I love my husband so much, and, like, he's my best friend." And she was just like, "I really want that for you." And I was like, "I do too," but I was like, "God forbid I'm ever in another situation where I felt as alone as I did the last time." Like, respectfully,
Mhm.
absolutely not. So, like yeah, I'll get there, but until then, I'm just doing me. And it's like I also kind of sat with that because I'm like I also don't want to be the type of person who can never do anything by themselves. Like
Mhm.
it's natural to want partnership. Like it's even in the Bible. Like it's not good for man to be alone. Like we are wired for connection and partnership. So, like I said, I'm the same way. Like I like being in relationships. I really do. But
Yeah.
I want to be in the right one the next time. Like that's it. I want that to be it.
Amen.
Like, and so
Mhm.
and
And
I
I
was
think
like,
it's
don't feel sorry for me because I'm doing these things for myself. Like, this is good for me. But also will be good for like my future family and just, like I don't want to be that type of person who did not live a life because I didn't have anybody. No.
exactly. Because I sure did a whole bunch of shit by myself last year, but it's like, all right, I think I got that out my system.
It's to a
It's like
point.
I know I can do stuff by myself. I get it.
Saw this video of this chick, and she was saying, "I like to be alone, but I like to be alone with my person," Like,
Mm.
us, if I'm gonna be secluded, we're gonna be secluded away from the rest of the world. And I was like, "That's real." Like, to what you said, Kayla, I am way too emotional to go through what I just went through ever again. Way too
Ever.
emotional. And that
Ever.
takes it back to how I started the podcast. Like, I was looking at all these things on social media of all these different relationships that have started and ended. And I'm just like, there was one person, I'm like, how many relationships can you really have that are meaningful? Like, you're younger than I am, and I know of at least 8 or 9 people that you've dated. So doing the math, it's like, what are you in relationships to do? Are you having conversations about what it is that you're really looking for? Or do you really not care to just hop from person to person to person to person? That's not me. So
For some people, it's just being able to claim somebody. It's like
Mhm.
I had them; they were mine.
which is crazy to me. I like the next person, I have to be so, no one's going to protect me the way I'm going to protect me. And I feel like even though prior to my last relationship, I was in that place where I was like, fuck men. If I have to be by myself, I have to be by myself, blah, 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 blah. I feel like now when I think about protecting myself, it's more from a perspective of being intentional. So it's like, I'm ready, maybe not ready yet, because, I'm still healing, but once I get to the place where there's an opportunity to be with someone else, it's like I'm gonna go into it with wide eyes, bushy tail, because I'm gonna be so much more intentional about what it is that I'm looking for and understanding who I am, how I show up, and what I need in my partner to reciprocate.
I feel like moving to be intentional helps me like mentally be like, oh, just cut niggas off. It's really quite that easy. Just like literally just say what you want to say. If they don't like it, they don't fucking like it. Oh fucking well.
Mhm.
Cause honey, when I was clearing that roster, honey, this week, I'm like, I hate when people say shit just to sound good. Somebody was like, I want to see you. I said, you want to see me or you want to fuck me? Let's get to the point. Let's just go ahead and get to the point. Cause all this rah rah, I miss you. You don't miss shit. Just say what you want to say.
There must be something in the air because I blocked another person this week. And I was just like, I was just going through my call log and I was like, we haven't talked in a while. Last time we did, got on my nerves just a little bit. Like, I was just like, okay, this one can go. And blocked on everything because I'm like, I'm tired of niggas finding me elsewhere and calling me from, like, I had a no caller ID call on Saturday. And I'm like, look, I'm not doing it.
Oh,
Doing it. So,
And in your case, that could have
Oh,
went
shut up,
several.
Jay.
Okay, I'm sorry.
oh my God. Well, you guys, with all that being said, I think our lover girl lesson for the week is this is actually one of my affirmations that I like to say, and it's my actions match my goals because it just gets me in the frame of like, do what you got to do today, bitch. You got things to do.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Do
my
what you gotta
actions match
do.
my goals.
Mean what you say. If that don't make sense, get the fuck out the way.
Period. Bars.
To ULGJ. Okay.
Period. Okay.
Listen. Love time.
I'm so weak.
Oh shit.
We're gonna start calling this MLK Boulevard because you know how
Kayla, I low-key love that.
every hood got an
Every hood
MLK
got an
Boulevard
MLK.
and that shit is ghetto.
Crying.
Fucking love it.
I'm sorry, y'all. Okay, let's do this.
Okay. Okay. Oof. Oh, let me start. Oh, that's me up top. Did you guys see that Peter Thomas and Todd Tucker are allegedly coming out with a television series of all the ex-husbands of those from former housewives?
Oh,
And I was like, when will the madness stop?
You need to stop being broke.
get humbled because nobody wants to see a bunch of men on a reality show. We watch it for the women, respectfully. Like nobody wants to see you niggas.
Disrespectfully, actually.
Yeah, that.
I
When
mean,
we say y'all are the housewives too, it's an insult. It's not something good.
Right.
it's not a bit that we want you guys to like play into and like really
Right.
try to profit off of.
Right. Selling merch and shit. Like, no. Stay over there.
And I know you guys probably don't watch Secret Lives of Mormon Wives, the show about the Utah Mormons.
Hell no. Sorry.
But for the past 2 seasons, and this past season specifically, like they have been bringing on the husbands more and more and more. And so finally, this past season, it was like, okay, we didn't sign up for this. Please exit stage left. And so they just released an article saying that the dads were not going to be returning this season. And we're like, praise God, because no one asked for that.
No.
No one. Yeah. So
Why don't y'all make a show about y'all taking care of y'all kids? Daddy daycare or something. Do that. Since Todd think he's such a primary fucking parent. Let's see what you do with them kids. Cause I'm sure they're gonna have Ralph on there in the basement doing something.
it's going to have Todd Tucker, 42, primary caregiver.
These niggas need money.
Right.
And that's not the way to get it. I'm sorry.
People like to play with Big Daddy IRS. I really don't.
Probably because
Yeah.
that slush fund is about to be created for the January 6th Patriot, or not Patriots, the January 6th rioters. Why motherfuckers be like, fuck the IRS.
But that
So
applies to
easy,
white
baby.
men. That don't apply to niggas.
It
I
sure
wish they would
don't.
stop acting like they have the same rights and opportunities.
Don't.
They don't care about your black ass.
Which literally, I saw this video yesterday, and this black girl was like, why do y'all keep trying to make an excuse for what you do wrong as black people by saying, but the white people get away with it? Why is white the bar for what is acceptable? You shouldn't be
Right.
looking up to white people. White people shouldn't be looking up to white people. And I was
Hello?
like, sis, keep talking.
You wanna be like heathens? Make it make sense.
Make it make
Right.
sense. Washing your drawers in the fucking coffee maker and shit.
Oh,
Niggas. Anywho, next thing that I added here was that I heard that there are men who drive for Uber who are now suing Uber because they are making less money because of the woman driver feature. You know how like you can request a female driver? Yeah, the men are saying that they're being negatively impacted by the initiative.
Consequences of the actions of your fellow mankind. Why do women feel so unsafe with you niggas?
Why do we have to implement such an initiative?
Literally. Why? I remember when it started blowing up, my cousin, I think she was in New York when this happened, like where she was living. Like somebody like lied and said that he was her Uber and she was about to get in their car and like it wasn't him. So I'm just like, it just be stuff like that. Like nobody wants to ride with you niggas.
Because as women, we can't fight the patriarchy and win. Because for some reason, niggas don't listen to women when it comes to literally anything. So if you want to get mad at somebody, get mad at your neighbor. Moral of the story is men do better. Love a girl, lesson for life.
My friend sent me a post about Rakia Jackson tearing her ACL and being out for the rest of the season. And my literal first thought was, I hope she ain't gonna be around that nigga while she trying to recover.
Yeah.
Like I'm so worried for that girl because that nigga really did some crazy ass shit, and I feel like it's getting glossed over.
Yeah.
And also, was he drafted by the Falcons? Was that right? I don't know if he still plays for the Falcons or if he's still on that roster, but with Rakia now being in Chicago instead of LA, like even being in closer proximity than what she previously was, I mean, I think it's a valid concern.
Yeah, 'cause I don't need her feeling like she needs that nigga to survive or need him because she can't fucking move around. And that's the nigga who you say, you know, you need somebody to help drive you around and I could take you here and I could do this for you. And meanwhile, you also trying to beat my ass. Like, no, I don't need it. I can take somebody to do my nerves.
Hope a mama, auntie or something, cousin go stay with her for a couple weeks because
Hutta and Louis have officially called it quits. Praise God. Now they are still. Louis' baby mama does have a active restraining order against Hutta still, which is great. But yeah, they said that they just, at the end of the day, need to focus on getting to the bag. So, do with that as you will.
Lord Jesus. Oh my God. All right, y'all. We really want y'all to be intentional about everything this week. Just think about what you're doing when you do it, why you're doing it for, and keep the love alive, y'all. It's dwindling, but it's still out there.
Staying alive. Staying alive.
And on that note, we're going to go ahead and put y'all in the Indian until next time.
Bye.